Imagine a football club so entrenched in its community that it becomes more than just a team. It becomes the heartbeat of an entire region, a living symbol of defiance, pride, and identity. Welcome to the story of Hajduk Split, a club that rose from the ashes of a divided Yugoslavia to embody the spirit of Dalmatia, a spirit of resistance, unity, and revolution. Today, we're going to explore the untold story of Hajduk Split. We know you have heard about Zagreb in our last video, but now we are heading south to a club that has always represented something far greater than football. From its roots in Dalmatia to its role in the turbulent days of Yugoslavia's collapse, Hajduk became a symbol of defiance against the political system that tried to suppress its very identity. The heart of Croatian football is here, in Split, and this is the tale of how a city, a club, and a people fought to maintain their soul through the beautiful game. Founded in 1920, Hajduk Split was not just another football club in the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. From the very beginning, it was intertwined with the cultural and political fabric of Dalmatia. The club's name, Hajduk, derives from the word for bandit or freedom fighter, a nod to the region's centuries-old tradition of resistance against foreign rule. In a way, Hajduk was always meant to be more than just a team. It was a representation of Dalmatian identity, fiercely proud and independent. Dalmatia, with its rugged coastline, steep mountains and ancient history, has always had a distinct identity compared to the rest of Croatia. While Zagreb was the political and economic heart of the country, Split, along with its people and football club, was a bastion of regional pride. Hajduk was not merely a football club. It was a political statement in a land where identity was often overlooked by the central authorities of Yugoslavia. Under Yugoslav President Josip Broz Tito, the country was a patchwork of ethnicities, all forced into a fragile unity under the banner of socialism. Football clubs in this period were often used as propaganda tools, promoted by the government to build national pride. Yet, there was a clear divide in how clubs like Hajduk Split were treated compared to others. While the central government in Belgrade favored clubs like Partizan and Red Star from Serbia, Hajduk Split was left to fend for itself. Yet, despite the lack of political support, Hajduk's fan base, known as the Torcida, was growing in strength. The Torcida wasn't just a fan group. It was a passionate and militant collective that became a political voice for Dalmatia, opposing the idea of a centralized Yugoslavia and calling for greater autonomy for Croatia. In the 70s and 80s, when Yugoslavia was slowly falling apart under the weight of internal divisions, Hajduk Split became a symbol of Dalmatian pride. The Torcida's chants and slogans were not just about football, they were about resistance. The club and its fans stood as a rallying point for Croatian nationalism, even as Yugoslavia's government tried to suppress any expressions of regionalism. The fall of Yugoslavia and the Croatian War of Independence in the 1990s marked a pivotal chapter for Hajduk Split. As the country teetered on the edge of civil war, Hajduk Split wasn't just a football club, it was a battleground for political ideology. The 1990s were turbulent times, with national identity and sovereignty hanging in the balance. In the early days of the Croatian War of Independence, Split, and by extension, Hajduk Split, became symbols of resistance against Serbian aggression. While Dinamo Zagreb's infamous 1990 riot became the flashpoint for the war, Hajduk's role was more subtle but equally important. The Torcida and the club became a focal point for those who believed in the Croatian cause. While the war raged on, the club's importance grew. The fans, who had been passionate about their team for decades, were now channeling their energy into supporting the Croatian army. In fact, Hajduk Split's matches became a place for the expression of Croatian patriotism, with every goal scored seen as a small victory in a much larger battle. For many, the club was a symbol of Croatia's fight for freedom and identity. Despite the political chaos, Hajduk Split continued to play, and the team's performances on the pitch were as much a statement of defiance as anything. In 1991, after the outbreak of war, the club was forced to play without many of its stars who were called up to serve in the Croatian army. Yet, the remaining squad fought on, and under manager Boris Bunjak, they managed to maintain a competitive edge in the Yugoslav league. The 1992 season was a defining moment for Hajduk Split. It marked the club's first full year in an independent Croatian league, and they quickly became the flag bearers of a newly independent country. The Torcida, who had supported their team through thick and thin, now took on an even more significant role. Their chants, their displays, and their very presence were a message to the world. Dalmatia was no longer part of Yugoslavia. Hajduk Split was more than just a team. It was a revolution. Hajduk's fans, the Torcida, are often described as one of the most passionate and militant supporter groups in Europe. But what makes the Torcida truly special is their unwavering commitment not just to their club, but to their region. They are a community bound by shared history, shared values, and a shared fight for independence. Their chants and their banners during the 90s were a direct challenge to the political establishment, whether that was Belgrade or anyone else trying to impose foreign rule on Dalmatia. The Torcida were not just cheering their team, they were standing against an oppressive system that had tried to erase their identity. In Split, in Dalmatia, Hajduk wasn't just a club, it was a statement. And when the Croatian national team took to the international stage, it was Hajduk and the Torcida who were there, cheering louder than anyone else, driving the spirit of the revolution forward. Today, Hajduk Split remains one of the most beloved and successful clubs in Croatian football, but its significance extends far beyond the pitch. The club and its fans continue to carry the torch of Dalmatian pride, resisting the temptations of corporate football and keeping their identity intact. As the country navigates new political landscapes, Hajduk Split remains a reminder of what was fought for, a reminder of the revolution that began in the 1990s. Hajduk Split is more than just a football club. It is a cultural institution, a symbol of defiance and resistance, a monument to Dalmatian pride. For the people of Split, the club will always represent the heart of their struggle for freedom and identity. As long as the Torcida chants, Hajduk Split will be the voice of the revolution. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of football, culture, and revolution compelling, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more incredible tales from the world of football.